What's up, punks? I have a new review, and it is the new Superman movie, the movie everyone's talking about lately. It's, of course, written and directed by James Gunn, and I assume in the future this film will be called Superman 2025. But for now, it's just Superman. And it stars David Cornsweet as, of course, Superman Clark Kent. Lois Lane is played by Rachel Brosnahan. Nicholas Hoult is Lex Luthor. Nathan Fillion is Guy Gardner. And, oh boy, we have a fun all-star cast. And let's get into the basics. Now, first, before I begin, this is going to be a non-spoiler review. You can watch this safely. And I will be doing a live spoiler cast sometime later this week where I'll get into the brass tacks of this whole movie. But right now, I'm just going to give you the basics. So, hey, what's this movie about? Well, already, Superman has been around for 3 years, and long enough to get established and build a rep, but also still new enough to be, making mistakes and, not perfect. So, this film starts with, he has intervened in an invasion of a country to a smaller country, and that has opened up a can of worms for him politically. And that, of course, makes him the target of Lex Luthor, who uses all his wealth and power and political clout to attack him, not just physically, but also, his whole philosophy and his ideology, which that is the challenge in this film. So, hey, let me get into, the basics of what I like in the movie. Of course, the cast is absolutely wonderful. Gunn put together just this wonderful, extended cast. Nobody really dominates, even Superman, although he is, of course, the main event here. But everyone plays off really nicely. I know a concern of a lot of fan and non-fans was there were too many characters in this movie, and oh no, how are we going to keep track of all these characters, blah, blah, blah. That is not a problem here. And you know what? I'd like to mention it here, because this is a complaint or a concern of any upcoming superhero film with a lot of characters in it. I know the X-Men movies, at least the first one got that a lot. Like, oh, there's so many characters, I can't keep track. This, new Spider-Man movie, so many characters, blah, 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 blah. I hear that a lot, and I never understand this complaint, because we don't make this complaint of other movies. For an example, Die Hard has a lot of characters in it. Goodfellas has a lot of characters in it. Why do we not get so upset, like, oh man, I can't keep track of all these characters in Godfather? Like, how do I supposed to tell who they are without knowing all their origins? Like, who cares about the reporter from Die Hard? His backstory. He's a jerk. He plays a part in the movie, and that's what he does. And that's what a good superhero film can do, because this focuses primarily on Superman and his whole outlook on life and how he deals and reacts to others and how others react to him, not just the other superheroes and villains, but the world around us. And it's very nicely done. It may seem chaotic as a whole movie, as a world, but it's focused, and that's what we're dealing with here. And Gunn just plays it absolutely perfect, because he knows what story he's telling here. It's very obvious. This is not meddled with by Warner Brothers Studios, which, I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest trusting person of Warner Brothers over the last few years, but they knew enough to get out of his way, and there you go. Let's see, I mentioned the cast. Gunn's humor, I think Gunn really challenged himself on this, because I naturally did think that his storytelling style, his humor, maybe wouldn't be such a good fit for Superman, but oh boy, he really does challenge himself here, and he kind of does a few things. He kind of keeps hold. He backs off on some of the typical James Gunn type of humor and music drops and stuff like that. So I don't know. It does really feel like he's trying to kind of challenge himself and kind of do a more sincere take on what he does. But there's still that humor that just, oh man, just spices up everything. So yeah, it's actually a really rewarding experience if you've been watching his films for a while. Let's see. Like I mentioned, this film, without really giving too much away, really does attack Superman's outlook on life and his politics and philosophy. And that's the main focus, and that's how you attack Superman. And like you can depower him by not having the world trust him. That's a bold attack on Superman. That's what Lex Luthor can do. It's very apt in the way it goes about this. It's very smart and realistic. At the same time, not being afraid to be absolutely batshit crazy on the superhero science and fantasy and magic. It's a wonderful tightrope that's walked here, and it's the kind of thing I see in comics and like the DC animated universe done all the time, and it's done here with little to no effort. Let's see, and like I said, Superman stays true to himself. And one of the things I compared the Snyder Superman to the MCU Captain America was one of the wise things Captain America did was as dark and cynical as the world around him was, Steve Rogers stayed true to himself, and that was the big challenge of the film. And that's what this film does. It has no problem making Superman uncool, and to the point where we go all the way around to the other side where he is cool, and just has fun with it. Like, I am so enamored of a filmmaker not ashamed of the character, and that can happen. That happens a lot with a lot of like DC properties, and it's happened sometimes with some of the MCU properties, and it's such a relief to see this film just not go there. And God, there's just so much. Like the Justice Gang is really wonderful. Mr. Terrific is a highlight, and this is a wonderful place because he's a fairly 20-year-old character, maybe. He's a fairly recent character, and I know he's a new character to a lot of filmgoers. And this is a wonderful introduction to him. Absolutely wonderful. Hawkgirl is great, as well as Guy Gardner, and I make no apologies. Guy Gardner is my favorite Green Lantern, and Nathan Fillion just kills it with this role. He just goes in and is Dick, and this is Guy Gardner, and I love. One of the things I love about Guy is he is a jerk. He's an asshole, but he's still on your side, even begrudgingly. Just absolutely no notes, perfect. So. Yeah, I really enjoyed this film. I might see it again. Me being an adult, I'm busy. I got a lot of stuff to do. But, I don't know, maybe I'll make time for this. This, plus Fantastic Four, could make this a great month for superhero media, frankly. I'm pretty excited. If Fantastic Four can stick the landing, it's perfect. So, yeah, I'm going to do a spoiler cast for this. I either will be doing it solo, or maybe I will have a partner discussing it. I'll see what I can do. Later this week, I'll probably post like a date when I know a little bit more about when I can do it. But I'll talk to you next week about all the details of this film. So, hey, what did you think? Let me know in the comments below. It always helps me with my algorithms if you just comment or like and subscribe. And for all things Manos, you can hit the notification bell. And you can also support and find me over on social medias. Patreon, Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, Blue Sky. And I am also on the League of Comic Geeks, which is a site where you can like review comics and discuss comics as well. Links below. So I think that's it.